Welcome to 5 and 5 from the One-Stop Co-op Shop, where we discuss 5 key elements of a game in about 5 minutes. I'm Michael Kelly, and today we're looking at Warfighter from Dan Versen Games. Quick disclaimer that I did receive a review copy of this game. If you're not familiar with Warfighter, it's a big series of games set in World War II or modern warfare with core boxes and expansions. And Dan Versen Games is hoping to expand it one day into fantasy and into sci-fi. And I gotta say, the idea of a SEAL team breaching and clearing a necromancer's fortress, God, I am there. But is this card-based tactical combat game fun to play? Let's find out and get to the list. We're going to start with a full-on con, and that's the rule book and how it's organized and laid out. So because Warfighter is such a big system, Dan Versen Games has made the decision, which might be kind of questionable, to include a full copy of whatever the updated living rulebook is in each new release. So you have tons of stuff that has nothing to do with the content you've actually purchased. Now that might have been alright, but they also organize the rulebook in a really odd way, and they don't have like section headings and things to delineate where is setup text and where is card explanation text, so it makes it a more onerous process than it should be. But I'll say this is only my number 5, because first of all, the game is very straightforward once you actually learn how to play, and second of all, there are tons of resources on BGG and great playthrough videos. You can watch mine for Shadow War. That should make learning the game a lot easier, but the rules themselves, not so great. But we're going to flip to a full pro for number 4, and that's how fun outfitting your squad can be for your mission. When you start a game of Warfighter, everything is in your hands. It's your choice. You pick how long or short you want your mission to be. You pick what the objective is at the end. Are you blowing up a bunker? Are you taking out an aircraft? But once you've made your mission decisions, you have the fun of building your squad with limited resource points. You have so many different soldiers, so many different items and weapons and pieces of equipment, so many skills, and the combinations are crazy, and you can try out different strategies. You can have a sniper heavy team one time, an explosive heavy team the next time. You can go with a single guy Ramboing it up, or a huge squad of weak soldiers just being mowed down. Such control in the player's hand, and it is so fun to play around with. We have another pro at number 3, and that's the location card system and how you have to play them to progress to your objective. You'll see tons of different locations as you play, and they vary greatly in terms of how many enemies spawn on them, how frequently more enemies show up, how many actions it takes to play them, what negative impact they have on you, how hard they are to enter, so it adds great variety to the play of the game. But I also love the thematic connection here, because when you draw a location card, you don't have to play it. It's kind of like you're scouting the area between you and your objective. Those kind of choices are great. They make me feel like I'm leading a squad into dangerous territory. I just love it. But that leads right into my number 2, and this is one of those ones that is a mixed leaning pro for me, but could be a full-on con for you, and that's the randomness and swinginess in the game. Let's start with the location cards. They're shuffled into the rest of the action deck, and it's theoretically possible that you'll draw none of them for turn after turn of cycling through cards, which could be a really frustrating experience. Same thing for drawing enemies. Based on how the reinforcements fall out, you might have almost no opposition, or you might have just legions of people facing you. And the combat is all dice-based, so if you keep on missing your attacks, or the enemy machine gunner gets a really lucky roll, they can totally wipe out one of your units in a single turn. Now, the reason this is a mixed-leaning pro for me personally is because it feels so cinematic, and the game is really fast. Like, you can play a mission in 30 or 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour, depending on how you play. So I don't mind the swings of luck, because they tell an amazing kind of war narrative. But we're going to end with a full-on pro. You know I always do that with the games I really like, and that's the actual tactical combat choices and action card play. If you've been watching my review videos for a while, you know that one of my favorite things is when a game gives you limited resources and tough choices to make with them, and that's all that Warfighter is. You have the actions on your units, the limited ammo on your weapons, the experience points you can use to boost effects, your hand of cards you can play to boost defense, boost attacks, gain extra bonuses, and hanging over everything is the time track and your soldiers' health and whether you're going to survive and complete your objective before it's too late. The tactical and again cinematic choices that come out of all of this: when do I want to throw my grenade? When do I want to use my rocket launcher? Do I want to spend my entire hand to call in a mortar strike on the machine gun team? Do I want to move in there but risk reinforcements coming? It's delicious, it's awesome, it's exciting, and it's different every time. So you can probably tell, but I really love Warfighter. The combination of quick play, huge variety even in the core game, and amazing cinematic tension and cool tactical choices, it just really strikes my sweet spot. And not even for a war game. I wouldn't say besides the complicated rulebook this feels like a complex war game. It just feels like a great kind of tactical card play game. But it might not be a hit for you if you can't handle a weak rulebook and looking up rules online, because it's not gonna hold your hand as much as it should. And it also has a lot of potential swinginess in the combat rolls and card draws, so that might push you away. But I am loving Warfighter. The World War II setting is my personal favorite, and I'm currently looking through the, I don't know, about 10 million expansions they have to figure out which ones I want to pick out and buy. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.